I don't see any more empty seats or empty spots, so I think I'll just go ahead and get started. Everybody get the sign-up sheet. Okay. Yay! Welcome to the Ultimate Real Estate Lead Gen Playbook. So I know earlier in the sales meeting, you heard me say that this was Cody Gibson's class from Family Reunion. So, Cody Gibson has done a lot of stuff with maps. He's also done a lot of stuff with our KW faculty. He handles a lot of the education stuff for Keller Williams. He's really funny, and I love to go hear him speak. So when we do our masterminds for PC coaches and that kind of thing at all of our different events, Cody also oversees all of us. And to me, that is extremely beneficial when I get to go be in a room with him for 4 hours and learn new things. So with this class, said it was a breakout session at Family Reunion. And when I went to it, I figured you might want to sit on this side, it'll be easier to see if I'm going on here. I figured I would know all of these lead gen hacks. And I did. Sit over there, Katie, so you can see. There were also some great things that he brought up though, and things that I hadn't thought of around those lead gen hacks. So I wanted to bring this back here. I thought it was an absolutely fantastic course. The real estate market has moved into a new era, and that is here for us as well. And the traditional metrics are failing those who don't understand the pulse of the market. So while the news focuses on days on market, or average days on market, the true lead indicator of a shifting market is the lack of multiple offers. Right? How many people hear something every single week where somebody goes, how's the market? Right? We all hear that. What market are we in?
Seller's market.
We're still in a seller's market. We're not moving out of a seller's market anytime soon. And right now we're coming into the spring market, right? Sit on that side, Peyton. You won't be able to see the board?
Yep.
So what's different in Grand Rapids about our spring market?
Demand is high. Sellers are selling.
Sellers are selling.
Buyers are buying.
Buyers are buying.
It's pretty robust.
It is robust. So if we looked at December, right, we would have seen that the number of transactions was down. That's because we have a very small number of people that actually want to sell in December. And again, the weather is yucky all through our winter, and people go, I don't want to deal with the snow and the ice. I'm going to wait until spring to put my house on the market. So what happens now that we have more buyers and more sellers hitting the market?
More multiple offers.
We will go back into multiple offers, right? When we're in a multiple offer market, listings will tend to sell themselves, right?
Yes.
When we are not, then sometimes we see those days on market start to climb. But that's not the true indicator of the market. For us, it is whether or not we are seeing multiple offer situations. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So, one thing that I wanted to point out that he said too was making sure about the distinction in your mindset. The financial state versus mindset. Broke is a temporary state of being, a condition that can be solved through aggressive action and innovation. Poor is a state of mind. Poor is a permanent perspective of scarcity that prevents an agent from scaling or taking risk. And their mindset is one of the biggest tools that we have. One of the things that they will teach you in Bold is that you can't have gratefulness and thankfulness and anxiety and a scarcity mindset at the same time. So when we are grateful, when we are thankful, when we are positive about how things are going, it affects our entire way of thinking and way of doing. Yes? Okay, so let's jump right in. Number 1, the reverse bold 100. How many of you know what that is? If you do, okay. So with the reverse bold 100, this is where rather than attempting to try to make 100 contacts in a day, we are trying to get people to contact us in a day. Anytime you hit a bold 100, it means you had 100 conversations or contacts about real estate in one day. Can it be done? Absolutely can. It'll probably take you all day. You can do one.
It is harder than it has been.
It is harder than it has been. And the example that Cody gave for this one is a lot of like what we do too. Like we just had our call day with our Mother's Day giveaway, right? Okay, so Amber Rutherford, who is an agent out in Texas, she first called hers the Peloton strategy. She ordered a Peloton, and the company screwed up, and they sent her 2. And she called the company, told them about the mistake, and they said, just keep it.
They did not.
They did. So rather than selling it for a quick profit, she used it as what we would call an inbound lead lever. She announced on all of her different social media platforms and sent emails out that she would spend a full Wednesday chatting with friends to reconnect. So that was it. I'm going to spend all day chatting with my friends. Give me a call to connect, and when you do, I will enter you to win the Peloton. I'd like to win a Peloton. Right? I'd like to win the Mother's Day giveaway. She ended up with 240 inbound calls in a single day. What is an inbound call?
They call you versus you call.
They call you, right. So the point with this one is that high quality contacts happen when you offer a reason for your sphere to interrupt you. Right? How many of you have done one of these before? I have. I'm sure Kurt has.
I have, but not with something
As
high value.
big as a Peloton.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, no one, I would call anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even like to ride bikes.
So I'm going to take a few minutes around each one of these topics as we go through them for us to brainstorm too. I just want to hear opinions from you guys. We're going to name out 5 different things that would make you want to call somebody and have a conversation. So like Kurt just said, that's a high dollar item. But it doesn't always have to be something that is an extremely high dollar item. What would interest you? If you saw a Facebook post on it, what would make you turn around and call somebody?
A cool trip, like a nice destination spot.
Okay, a trip.
I'd call for that.
I would call for just like a gift card to a local restaurant.
Okay?
Reservation at Leo's with a free meal or $100 off your meal, $200 off your meal.
Or a spa day like we just did. I would call for that. I want that.
Yep, a spa day, okay? Yeah.
I would call if they were doing like a free day of like lawn care or like landscaping.
Lawn care, landscaping, yep.
I would call for car detailing.
Car
yeah,
detailing.
I would too. Yeah. That sounds really good.
Uh-huh. Right. I'm gonna bring up another one that I used a few years back. I have a good friend and past client who's a handyman, and so he helps out with a lot of my jobs. So with mine, it was your honey-do list. and you got 4 hours of the handyman services that I paid for.
The car detailing, I
Mhm.
think someone to clean your house too.
Yep. I'm gonna call that like a spring clean.
Spring clean, deep clean,
Yeah.
just organize my garage.
All great ideas. And then, because we said the Peloton was so expensive, right? The trips can be expensive. A reservation and a meal can be expensive. Any of these could easily be $200 to $500 or more dollars. And we don't all have that in our budget to give away. So what do?
Use your credit card.
Apparently I need to teach MREA again, Sue.
But seriously though, I mean, when you think about 243 people calling into you, where's the trade-off on there? One house pays for that Peloton.
One house pays for the Peloton,
I'm not
yes.
saying she got an instant lead from that, but I
Mhm.
bet you she got at least 20
Probably so.
for the year. Right.
But you could also do the exact same thing that we just did for the Mother's Day giveaway, where you collaborate. So maybe even 3 of you get together, right? And you each chip in $100. Now that's $300. You could do most of these with $300. And you host it together, and then you get a winner. And here's the thing, when you get the winner, even if it's not your client, you can still go back on social media and post that video with "here's our winner." Because everybody else that called you doesn't know that you didn't know that person, that it was another person in your group that had that winner. Yep. High quality happens when you offer a reason for them to interrupt you. How many of you would love to get 100 phone calls in a day? I would, right?
Yeah, no one answers that.
How many would you love to get 10 that don't say they are offering you Medicaid or Medicare?
Yeah. Or that they have verified genuine leads.
Yeah.
The home and garden tickets seem to net me a lot more calls than the spa day. Calls back.
Yeah,
Or-
well, again, it depends on what appeals to your sphere, right? And you have a big group with varied interests. So there may be some people who could care less about that spring cleaning, but you give them a trip and they're all over it. You could have other people who could care less about the trip, but they'd love to have that organizing thing for their house. So it's another reason why you can vary those up each quarter, because you're appealing maybe to a different audience with each one. Okay, great. We'll move on to number 2.
I have a
2.
question.
Yes.
Now, this is always advised to be a phone call that they have to do to you. Some people, do you think that they would be afraid of phone call these days, or they would just do a text submission only, but it's saying no, it has to be a phone call?
Your point with this is to have a conversation with people.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't feel comfortable enough with you to have a phone conversation with you, then that's not technically in your sphere either. Right? And your Facebook profile might be open to the public, but most of the people that are gonna see you on Facebook are going to be your Facebook friends who theoretically. Oh, Sid! I was coming.
That was a really good snack.
Yeah, let me get back up. No, I got it.
Having an office moment.
Yeah, I did. My bad, guys. I was trying to sneak
Instead
in
of
too
chili,
after my
it's something.
meeting.
Instead of chili, it's sauce.
Okay, Becca's coming to help
Oh my
you.
God,
My main question is, do you have something else to eat?
Absolutely not. So I guess I'm calling Jimmy John. Oh, Sid, I'm a mess.
Okay.
At least it's not hot.
That's true, that's
Bake
true.
Bake in there.
Okay,
I'm a mom. I'm normally so good at these things.
When
It
they say,
happens to the
when
best
they
of
say
us,
make an
Sid.
entrance, so Sid, you got it down.
I'm here.
Yes, ma'am.
I have arrived.
Yes.
I'm
So-
the same department.
So to go back to your question though, when you're doing a reverse bold 100, we are looking for people to call you,
Okay,
right? So when we do our days, like our Mother's Day giveaway that we just did with the spa package, I always say you can text people too. And if they text back, that's great, we have a contact. But that's usually when we're reaching out, we're doing outbound.
So, you, like me, we've got a lot of friends on Facebook that are realtors now.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that work with them? Like, you can't really exclude anybody, can you?
You can't, but to be honest, when I've done something like this, I've never had another realtor
Right.
reach out to me.
I wouldn't think so.
So,
But I've got some idiot friends that are realtors, so.
who may
Yeah.
want a Peloton real bad.
yes. But while we're talking about this, then let's also talk about the rules and regulations again for entries into something to win. You cannot make anything a barrier to entering this contest except you having their information. You can say, if you provide me with a referral, I will give you 5 more entries, right, or 5 extra entries to the contest. But you cannot make them giving you a referral a barrier to entering the contest. I liken it to all the stuff, it's probably us old people, but back in the day, all these different food companies and that kind of thing, right, would do.
McDonald's
where
Monopoly,
you,
right?
like McDonald's Monopoly. You don't have to go buy something at McDonald's. They have to give you a chance to fill out your name and whatever on a card and mail it in to enter that big contest. It's the same thing here. So it has to be 0 barrier entry. But you can give out additional entries for referrals. Is that clear to everybody?
Can you
Okay.
call it a contest or drawing? There was something
Sure,
about
you can't
that.
call it a raffle.
A raffle, that's what it is.
Yes, you can't use terms that the Michigan Lottery would use. Yes,
Do you disclose that like after they entered or like right up?
I am doing my video. Hey, Facebook friends, today is such an exciting day and you're not gonna believe it. I have a Peloton to give away. A Peloton. And you're not gonna believe the story behind this one. So here's the deal. Reach out, give me a phone call, and I will enter you into the drawing to win. That's all you have to do. Call me. So, I mean, that's really all I have to say. I don't have to disclose it up front. Then when I'm having the conversation with them, then I can say, if you happen to have a referral for me from someone who might be interested in buying or selling in real estate, I can give you 5 extra entries. But you could have said that in the video too. And if you have a referral, I can give you 5 additional entries into the drawing. Either way, you just can't restrict it to you don't get entered unless I give you a referral.
Might even be more genuine if you ask them in a phone call too, because they're preparing in their mind, like, oh, who do I give them for the contact, you know?
Right.
You know, on the spot, hey, do you know anybody? Actually, I'll give you 5 extra entries if you give me this referral.
Yes.
You can have it in writing, you don't have to say it in a video.
Yeah, you could have it in writing, but I would also suggest that anytime you wanna do something like this and you're going to use social media to do it, that you do a video.
Me on a
People
Peloton.
respond 75% more to a video than they do from a cute little Canva post where you just wrote words.
No, I'm saying, when you make the video, like the text on top can say.
Oh, yes,
Can
yes.
say, hey, if
Yeah.
you give me, that way they're prepared to call you and say, hey, I can give you this person.
Right, but it's also going to prevent some people from calling you because they feel like you're using it as a scheme or a scam,
Gotcha.
right? So I wouldn't advertise it at all. I would just have the conversation when they call.
And we can put something must be 18 years old, or, no?
You could, but do they have to be 18 years old? I mean, if the
Usually that's what I
15-year-old
say.
neighbor down the block wants a Peloton and he called you and said, I think my grandma's gonna sell her house, wouldn't you take it? I would. All right, let's move on. Number 2. This is what we call the mayor model, or the small business model. So, when we're looking at this, this is becoming the mayor of your farm by spotlighting local businesses to engage the vast majority of your database who are ignoring your real estate content. Right? 94% of people don't care about your real estate post.
I think that's.
I think that your
Right.
close friends and your family care about your real estate post and nobody else does.
The realtors.
Right, remember they tell us that when we're posting things online, 20% should be about real estate, 80% should be about you, your passions, your hobbies, your careers. But what this is what I think probably in this room, Leah is doing the best job of right now. So she's identifying local businesses every week, right? Shooting an unpolished iPhone video on location. Avoid high production value. Lower production or higher production requires higher trust. And then you're posting and tagging the business. They will naturally repost your stuff when they get tagged in it, and it's going to expand your community and your equity. This has completely flipped over the years. Way back in the day, when we did video on social media, it needed to look professional, and that's what they expected. So for 5 years, I actually ran a video series called Spotlight on Ada, because that's when we were starting our redevelopment phase. I was on the board, for a while I was the president of the board, and I wanted to make as many connections as I could within that Ada business network, but also to be viewed by the residents as the specialist of Ada. And that's what they called me, the Queen of Ada, and Chief Dave is the mayor. So, but with that one, I had a professional videographer. I shot 5 videos at a time, and then those videos went out, right? So 1 a week was released, and with those, the businesses, like it was all coordinated. So it went on the Ada Business Association's page, it went on our page, it went on the business's page. So there was a coordinated effort to get everything out there. And I'm going to show you what this used to look like. And of course, I've not been on the team for a while, so let's just see if I can find one like this. Might be faster. And then, oh, that was the reel. This is a good one. This is Hunks hauling junk.
A new business here. It's College Hunks. Hunks hauling junk, and we're with Mark Cusack, the owner. Thanks for having us today.
Thanks for being
His
here.
wife is the
So,
assistant
a lot
manager
of
at Forest
people
Hills
maybe have
Foods.
seen this on Shark Tank before, but they may not be familiar with what the business is. Tell us all about these big hunks that haul junk.
Yeah, they are big. We have a personal services business, 2 services. If you have us to your home to get rid of stuff, you want that to be gone. One thing I really like is we work on making sure, say, 60-70% doesn't go straight to a landfill. Repurposed, reused, go to charity, go to a nice home. We really like that. We really like that. And then the second big service we have is moving, whether it's packing stuff, moving, unpacking, all the things related to moving. We do all the move services. We also do general labor. When folks sometimes want us to rearrange the furniture, get the stuff out of the basement, bring it up here, take this stuff and put it in another room. It's not leaving their house, it's not going away, it's just general labor. So we do all those services.
That's awesome. And now we learned that there's actually something that HUNKS stands for, the HUNKS. Can you share what that means?
Jatari has just started with us today. Jatari, what's that H stand for? Honest. Uniform. Exactly right. Nice. Nice, and he is very nice.
furniture or pieces that you don't want to get trashed, but you want them to go to a worthy organization. You do things with Family Promise, with Mel Trotter, with all those different types of
I'm gonna stop for just a second right now. Now I'm talking about the charity portion. Why am I talking about that?
Outreach, expansion.
Outreach, but what were we talking about this morning in coaching?
Providing service.
Personable, being personable and
Okay.
affectionate.
But we're trying to play on people's
Emotions.
emotions.
So value
The first part of this video, I'm talking about what they do, what their name is, what they stand for. Now I'm playing on emotion, right? You might have learned what they did, but that does nothing to make your heart go, oh. But now when you're hearing about we give back to the community, we do things for charity. Like you can donate that living room set that you don't want anymore and we'll take it to Family Promise. That's pulling that emotion into it, right?
Yep.
Okay. You're also gonna wanna have something funny
Same with
in it most of the
Salvation
time.
Army and even more.
So.
Even more. We try to make sure things get repurposed. We are looking for some artists who want to repurpose some wood furniture that has a little bit of stress, a little bit of challenge. So if you're out there, give us a call.
Yeah. So they can do all kinds of great things. They can get rid of the junk in your house. They can help you move to a new house. They can help you rearrange your furniture. There's just so many things that you're willing and able to do.
Absolutely, absolutely. We really like the brand. My wife is back over here behind the camera. Come here, Diane. Now I have to tell you just a proud moment here. I went to training. I prepared for 3 months. We're getting ready to open. And who comes down with the flu? Me, with 104 point something. I'm delirious, hallucinating. Who had no preparation? Who had no training? Who knocked it out of the park? Diane Cusack and Xan Swale, head of administration. Xan's not here. And they actually launched a day early, and I believe it was the International Day of the Woman, and they did a phenomenal job, I don't have the flu anymore, but I'm confident Diane can run this business all day long.
That's so awesome. So I have a question. What's the heaviest thing you've ever lifted?
Yeah, the old washer, it was probably maybe 60s, 70s, it was really heavy.
So was it still like an electric plug-in, or was it one of those old ones that you crank and put the...
electric plug-in.
Okay. Ooh, glad to know somebody still didn't have one of those crank ones laying around in their laundry room.
Yeah.
Jutari, how much can you bench? About 350.
350. Wow.
Think you can bench, Kindell?
We're gonna try that.
And bring back a supportive base here and see if that's true.
And we're gonna
Oh my
sing
God. That is great.
At 300, you're gonna have to do something about that.
Number 75. 77. 78. 79.
For those of you who need junk moved,
Okay, so this is what people used to expect in video. If I put it out right now, it wouldn't get the same traction. They call it the crappy video rule. Use your smartphone. Do not spend money on professional production because it feels like an advertisement. The authentic come with me tours are what people are actually looking for. I do not have TikTok on my desktop. Leah, are any of yours on like Facebook or Insta? Do not make me log in again.
They're probably on my business page. I don't really repost them on there.
What is the business page
It
again?
says Leah Ellen Boss, West Michigan Realtor.
Your voice sounded different in your old video. Did you used to have, like, not as much of your accent going? Or did it, I didn't know that was you until you told me, cause I just didn't think that was your voice.
I think it's just because I put on the professional voice
Okay.
when I'm doing that. My mom was in radio and TV for years. I mean, I grew up around radio and TV. So, okay, that's your salon giveaway, but that will get us onto that channel. Let's, yeah, let's find one where you're in. Here we go.
Okay, today I tried True North Nutrition for the first time in Rockford, Michigan, and it was so good. If you're looking for something quick and healthy that actually tastes good, this is it. They have protein shakes, energizing teas, acai bowls, fun high-protein snacks, and coffee. I got the mango tango bowl, and it was amazing. This is the acai menu if you want to pause it and read. Also, their energy teas are perfect if you need a little morning boost or midday pick-me-up. Plus, it's super cute inside. There's a bar, cozy seating, and even a kids' play area. So anyway, I can't believe this was my first time coming in here, but if you're local, you definitely have to check it out. If you want to see more local favorites like this, make sure to like this video and follow along for more. Okay, today I tried True North Nutrition for the first time in Rockford, Michigan, and it was.
That's the difference. Leah, how long did it take you to put that together?
Like 10 minutes or less.
What,
It's like, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, what editing
I
stuff?
just do it on TikTok.
Okay, perfect, yeah.
Do you like the microphone that's next to your phone?
I do have it. I didn't use it for that video, but
Oh, you used
I just did a voiceover.
Okay.
You can get, if you need a microphone, usually if you're doing a voiceover, you don't. If you're inside of a location, you usually don't. If you're outside, you definitely need to have one. But again, you can get one for $10 on Amazon. They're not expensive at all. And this may not be everyone's cup of tea, but I just want you to see the difference from where we were to what we do now. So if you don't need to hire a videographer, you don't need to do the professional video. They want the off the cuff, I just shot this on my iPhone.
Time difference on length of the video. Hers is what, less than a minute, and yours was?
Like minute and a half.
Yours was like 5 to 6 minutes, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So,
No one's gonna sit there for 6 minutes anymore.
Right.
7 seconds.
Yeah.
I try to
So,
talk really fast.
a minute and a half is usually the recommended for it.
Right.
Yeah, so, the other thing to consider with this is that marketing philosophy. So real marketing is not describing an entertainer's kitchen. Real marketing is creating an emotional association or emotional connection. So, you know, Leah was kind of doing that connection there with, you know, if you're in Rockford, right? She's in Rockford, they're in Rockford, she's targeting Rockford. And she did a couple things, like when she panned to the menu board right there, because somebody can pause that and look at it if they want to. She actually showed them what the food bowl looked like. But anytime we can incorporate emotion, and usually what we're also looking for is something that is your, like, brand, right? Try to be consistent with some of your things too. If I said Coca-Cola, what's their brand? What do you always see around Coca-Cola, like at the holidays?
Red.
Polar bears. Polar bears.
Red, white, and polar bears. And the polar bears are always some kind of emotional, feel-good, commercial, right? Yeah. What's Budweiser? What are their commercials most known for? Clydesdales and frogs.
That's right.
Don't you remember the first Super Bowl commercial they did with the 3 frogs on the branch, and they went Budweiser. And then the next year it was the frogs. Yes.
That tells you when I grew up, okay?
I forgot about those.
Well, I remember that because I was working at Damon's, and that was the first year we had Damon's and the Super Bowl with the Budweiser frogs. So, questions on this? Small business sphere. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Next, the promise. Who knows what the promise is? 2 of us? 3 of us? Who uses the promise?
I know what this is.
The promise is in my listing presentation, it's in my buyer presentation. Another realtor, Mike Hicks, has used the promise to achieve an 88% referral rate.
What's his name?
Mike Hicks. The strategy here anchors the expectation of a referral to the quality of your service from the very beginning. So the front end of this script is explaining what the promise is. So when I do this with my clients and I'm setting that up, I say, I promise that I am going to deliver to you the most satisfying home buying experience that you can have. And I can also tell you that when things go wrong in the transaction, and they will 100% will, I will walk through it with you. I am attached to you, not to a deal. And if I do a fantastic job for you, then I am expecting that by the time we get to the closing table, you are going to refer to me, a friend, coworker, family member that could also use exceptional services that I could provide. Deal? I'm going to ask them at like the 2-week mark, hey, remember that promise? Are you thrilled with your service so far? Yes. Am I meeting all your expectations so far? Yes. Great. Do you have that referral for me ready yet? You ask 3 times till you get to the closing table. By the time you get to the closing table, they normally will have that referral for you.
What did you say the second week, the second week in,
are you happy with the service that I'm providing
okay.
to you? You know, or do you feel that my service has been exceptional so far? Right. So the line that he uses is mid-transaction, like that 2-week check-in. I'm a little bit worried that I dropped the ball. I was so worried because we haven't seen a referral come in yet, and I thought maybe I screwed something up. So I can provide you 4 or 5 different versions of the promise that you can incorporate, you know, into your processes. I think this one is absolutely fantastic. And think about it. If you closed 5 deals and every single deal gave you a referral and you only got half of those, that's still another 2.5 or 3 deals that you got that year just from using the promise. Right? So phase 1, it's up front. Phase 2, you're gonna run into inevitable friction. The deal does get hard. And what I tell them up front too, when I say I'm gonna do my very best, right, on every single transaction, I will say this is not gonna be hiccup-free, hassle-free, or stress-free. It never is. But my job is to take as much of that on beforehand so that it only trickles down to you. Okay, so phase 3, that's now the re-anchoring, right? Oh my gosh, did I drop the ball? Like I'm worried, I haven't seen that referral come over yet. And then phase 4, now that's where you're looking to secure that referral. So that's in that final week before you get to the closing table. But 88% give him a referral. It's a really good number, isn't it?
That's awesome. Yes.
Okay, questions about that?
Do you have scripts?
The promise is a script. So I can pull it up and.
Just what you said.
Oh, I can send you this
okay.
whole
Yeah,
printout from this too that actually has all of that verbiage in it too. Okay, we're gonna keep going. This is one that not people know about, or not many people. The Google review mission. So Nick Waldner, his whole philosophy is camp out on those reviews. So how many of you have reviews? Yeah. What platforms are your reviews on?
Google and Facebook. Mostly Google.
Mostly Google, right. So, did you know that if you don't have any transactions under your belt, you can still get reviews?
Yes.
How do we do that?
Character reviews.
character reviews from
Maybe
friends,
from a previous business.
family, previous co-workers, right, contractors that you work with. So, his goal was to add 5 reviews per day. And he would not wait for a closing. He would ask past clients, friends, and family to vouch for his character, vendors, right? So other agents, your loan officers like Rick that we had up here, and all that kind of stuff too. So he targeted 5 reviews per day. This is don't wait for hundreds of sales. Broaden the ask. Request for those character reviews. And this is what I love here. Step 3, remove friction. What he would do is store a template in his iPhone's notes with the link for a direct review. And then he also put in samples to copy paste and leave him a review. Basically, he wrote his own reviews and said, like, here's 3 samples if you'd like to know what to write. And people would just copy paste it. That's brilliant.
It's very brilliant.
Right? Okay. This is where we're going to get a little bit more tricky that I didn't know about the reviews. Okay. Google reviews are fed exclusively into Gemini AI. They're fueled by Gemini. But ChatGPT and other LLMs cannot see Google reviews. So if you went to ChatGPT and said, find me the realtor that has the most top reviews in Grand Rapids, it doesn't look at Google. So that's why they're telling us to have multiple platforms. And what he suggests is that you actually have a section on your own personal site. All of us have a website provided by Keller Williams, right? We all do. And you can have a testimonials or a reviews page on there. So what he's saying is when you have them on Google, also add those to your personal website.
Can we add them, or must they do a double submission of reviews?
I think that we can actually add them ourselves. I've asked Elijah to look into that for us. Like with Google, you can't.
Yeah.
Right? They have to sign in with their Google ID and all that to be able to leave a Google review. But I didn't know that ChatGPT won't read Google or Gemini AI. So that was a newbie for me, right, that I learned in that class for this one. But I love the whole thing about store a template and write your own and then just have them copy paste it. And if you don't want them all to sound alike, then after somebody uses that one, just go into the template, change a few words, and then you got it ready to send out for the next one. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, question about that. Okay, I never would have thought of writing my own reviews. Agent-to-agent referrals. We all hear about those all the time. How many of you, I know the new ones probably haven't yet, but how many of you heard of Jay Papasan? Okay, so Jay and his wife Wendy run a team down in Texas, and I don't even know what Jay's title is now. Is he the CEO or whatever?
I think he's absent. Mostly Wendy runs it, doesn't she?
Not the team. I mean within Keller Williams.
Okay. Oh, you mean?
Yeah. He's Gary's right-hand man. Let's put it that way. Anything that you see, Jay is going to be on it.
A lot of the writing stuff.
Yes. Yes. He co-writes a lot of the books with Gary. But part of their whole building with their team was that agent-to-agent referral network. So what they're saying is the standard agent begging the old way was, if you ever have a client moving here, I'll pay referral fees. That gets instantly deleted. If you are doing a fully editable or editable local marketing campaign that generated real appointments, value add, right, then agents save them, use them, and forward them. This is only something that I would use if you know a lot of people in a lot of different areas. Otherwise, to me, it is kind of a waste of your time. But what they're doing there is, you know how we have our campaigns inside of Command? Well, what they're doing is they're creating like a really cool monthly newsletter that is so generic that it can go out to any audience. And then they're sharing those kind of things with the agents that they're trying to add in their agent-to-agent network. Yeah, go ahead,
Margot's
Kurt.
got a great agent-to-agent newsletter she does every month.
Who does?
Margot Drake.
Oh, okay. Yep, Margot does.
And so it's yeah, whether it's local here or it goes out, she's got friends in New York, she's got friends in California, and so I wouldn't mind taking somebody that sold their condo for $1 million in California and helping them find a condo in Grand Rapids or something like that.
And Cody talked about another agent that had sent out a specific mailer, and she had actually gotten 3 appointments off that mailer. So then she advertised, hey, you know, I actually got 3 appointments off this mailer. If you want to connect to me and be in my referral network, let's connect. And she grew her agent-to-agent database to 8,000 people in 24 months.
Was that the Alabama lady on the MRA?
I think so.
Yeah, I just listened to that. It was good.
Yep. So again, this is only something if you know a lot of people across the country. I would not focus on this if you don't. Okay. This one may not seem like a lead gen hack. It's the 5 P's of scale. The entrepreneurial bug that causes agents to scale too early, which leads to collapse. Now the reason that we're putting this into lead gen is because everything that you should do should have a system and a model and a way to, anybody want to guess?
Repeat it.
Track. Yep, it should be repeatable and you should be able to track it. If we can't track it, we don't know if it's working. So, the discipline framework for growth that prevents the fatal error of scaling unproven systems. So whatever lead gen hacks you are using or you are trying, you should be tracking. You guys hear me say this one all the time. You need to know how many hours you spend on it and what the results are that you get out of it. Because you will find out if it's worth your time or worth it something that you could actually should be spending money on, right? So right now you're in the promising and the performing stage. You're promising that you're going to spend 20 hours a week lead genning and you're going to do it in this order. Now you're performing. You're doing those actions. Then you're getting the proof of how those actions are performing. And then where agents screw up is between this proof and this repeat. They're getting busier. It's taking up a lot more time. And now you think it's harder. And now you know, or go, I need to hire a showing agent, right? Or something like that. You don't. That's where you're going to screw up. Do not scale yet. What does the MREA teach us as far as hiring?
Admin first.
Admin first, always. You don't need a showing assistant, you hire an admin. That's your first hire. How many transactions should you be at before you consider hiring an admin?
5 a month.
Depends.
It's a yearly number that they give.
Times 12.
Is it 30?
I've hired a transaction coordinator already, and it's just because they do the job so much better than I do and I'm not paying for it.
But a transaction coordinator is not an admin.
It is.
It is in a way, but not in the way MREA teaches.
Sure.
So
it's not a personal assistant.
Like an admin would be on salary.
And yes, an admin is somebody that you are paying a monthly salary to, regardless of whether or not you're doing any transactions. And your admin is somebody that you're unloading a lot of the other stuff to. So let's just talk about that. If you were hiring an admin, what are some of the things that you would be unloading onto that admin?
Answering the phones.
Listing entry or no?
Answering the phones,
MLS.
data entry, putting together your marketing materials, sending out a mass email, helping to plan your event, right? All that kind of stuff. Taking signs here, going and picking up lock boxes, that's what you offload to the admin. What you're still doing is the lead gen, right, and the actual business itself. And the MREA says that you should be able to handle somewhere up to 25 to 32 transactions a year before you need to hire an admin.
How many?
Now, 25 to 32. I will tell you, even if you're doing 10 transactions a year, hiring a transaction coordinator can free up a lot more time.
Before you get to the next,
Yes.
what's MR?
Millionaire Real Estate Agent. That is the playbook for Keller Williams, the MREA. We have a library over there by the blue sofas. So anybody that's new, you can check out books. You can also get it on, Audible or any of your online book sources where you can listen to it and download it. And then there's also a podcast called the MREA Podcast. And that's usually Cody and Jason Abrams, yeah, thank you, that host that podcast. And every single week they feature usually an interview, like with another agent with something that's working for them. Great podcast to listen to. The MREA also teaches us how to run our business like a business. And just like most companies would do, right, when we hit third quarter, then we should be reviewing our year and putting together our plan for the following year. So you will see, usually around October, that I will host the MREA clinics a couple of times. It's an all-day workshop. And we go through MREA and we go through business planning for the following year. Okay, but what I'm telling you right now is this happens over and over again. Don't get sucked in. You might have to work more, but don't get sucked in. In my world, I would say if you're not doing 15 to 20 a year, you don't need, you keep your transaction coordinator, but you're not ready for anything else. You're not doing enough business for it. Because at that point, you are financially responsible for somebody.
The nice thing about a transaction coordinator is you don't typically pay them until you close. And
Right.
So, and most of them, if a deal falls apart, they're not gonna charge you for it. Some will, but most won't.
Yeah. Thank you, Kurt. Okay, moving on. Cause-based marketing. Fusing deep personal passion with database growth to create a community that actively asks to be marketed to. Cody says that if lead generation is unsustainable if it isn't authentic. How many of you believe that one?
Wait, Kindell, can you repeat that?
Yes, that lead generation is unsustainable if it isn't authentic. Okay, and that's why as I meet with each one of you and we start out and we do those one-on-ones and then we're picking like what your sources are going to be for lead generation. Some people feel very connected to these things. Some people feel very connected to these things. I don't want to be inauthentic. One of the things that we'll talk about today and that we hear frequently is those I have a buyer letters. How many of you know what those are? Right, so for the newbies, the I have a buyer letter is also called the golden letter sometimes. And it's one of those where they tell you to send it out like to an entire neighborhood that you have a buyer that's looking for a home. You're looking for a seller, right? So you can get them to sell, but they recommend that you do it whether you have a buyer or not. Because again, if that seller says, well, would your buyer buy my home? They actually just went under contract 2 days ago, but I have lots of other buyers that would probably also love this neighborhood. Can we still meet? To me, that's dishonest. I don't like it, it feels yucky, I don't use it. There's ways that you can tweak it to where you can still use it to farm a neighborhood without making it contingent on a buyer. So in this particular scenario, we had an agent who was actually a Hell's Angel. And there's a lot of misconceptions out there about the Hell's Angels too, right? I mean, some of those Hell's Angels chapters do a lot of really good work. But this guy was really very passionate about animal shelters. So he identified his personal passion, animal shelters. So what he did is he documented the journeys of the unadoptable pets, right? Like a cat that's only got 29 days left to live. The shelters, right, where they're there for so many days, and if they don't get adopted, they get euthanized because they have to have spots for other animals to come in. So he documented this journey in public on his social media groups. And then he created a private Facebook group, so built a private community where the sole purpose is the cause. But you make real estate the engine that funds the passion. Right? So that was his cause, that was his purpose in life, but he had to have money to help fund his purpose in life, and real estate was his job that helped him get money to fund that purpose. Right? So, he built up to 900 sales a year. That was his, now of course by that point in time he had a team built out, right? But 900 sales a year.
Well,
Over 20,000 people in the Facebook group.
I say, think about how far reaching that would be too.
Mm-hmm.
Those might not, all 900, those might not be his in that community as much as referrals in other communities and stuff too that he's.
Could
bringing
be.
in.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
So then their hook or their slogan became, we don't just find homes for people, we find homes for pets too. Yep.
That's awesome.
You can't use this if it's not in your heart. You have to find something that you're passionate about if you're going to make that work. And I'm going to tell you, every single year, you will see agents go to conferences. Usually it's Keller Williams agents that are big on this kind of stuff, right? Because their motto is to come for contribution. And they will take some class or talk to somebody who talks about the whole thing with adopting pets. And you know when they get home, because you see everybody for the first 3 weeks, like visiting animal shelters and that kind of thing on their Facebook pages, and then you never see it again. It wasn't authentic. So again, this is not for everybody, but it can work for some. And the more emotions it tugs, the better it's going to work. Do you know what the most populated realtor Facebook group is in Grand Rapids right now?
Grand Rapids Informed.
Grand Rapids Informed. And who runs Grand Rapids Informed?
Mike Smulligan.
Mike Smulligan.
Oh, really?
And then there's the Grand Rapids Better Informed or something like that. And then it actually has in parentheses like the other one, right, that somebody started because they got ticked off that they would try to post and Smulligan would remove their stuff.
So do you notice on there that they'll occasionally ask for like realtor, like who's your favorite realtor? Like I need to sell, like, and they always have like a nickname. They never use their real name. Is that the team just like figuring out who their competition is and like who's getting recommended?
Yeah, or they go in and delete all the other posts. They
Yeah.
have other people that are posting all of their names, and then if you try to go put your name in, your post will get hidden.
Yes.
So what is Grand Rapids Informed? What is
It was a website that he created from going to a family reunion conference 7 or 8 years ago about be your local market expert,
Oh.
and he started it. And then he hired, people that are specialized in social media to help run it and grow it. But it's meant to be a lead funnel for his team.
Yes.
Most of the time, he won't even let other realtors in the page, right? Like, he won't even let them join the group. But that's what it is. And no, all their content is not about real estate, but when they do put that mofer out there, it's going to be so that their team gets more leads and more feeds. So there are people out here that do it. There are people that do it at a high level. That doesn't mean that you can't do it. If there's something that you're truly passionate about, and it's a hobby or something that other people will connect with, and you volunteer there every week or you do stuff every month, start your own page. Start building your own private community.
Another agent in our office that did that is Lauren Rockel. I don't know if she still runs it. It was about dogs.
Yeah.
I don't know if she still utilizes that or not, but that became very successful for her in her career, and she utilized that a lot.
I had one the first 5 years, which has since been handed over as well, but it was me and another lady. So actually, when I got back into real estate, my kids were 3 and 5. So my 3-year-old went to preschool half a day, my 5-year-old was in kindergarten, right? So I needed somebody like 3 days a week to have Vivian pick her up from preschool and take her. This lady who was a nanny had actually been nannying for the family of my 5-year-old's best friend, Ty, for years. But now Lily and Ty are both in kindergarten. She still had those kids after school, but she needed some more income. So she took Viv. But we were constantly doing play dates and setting up play dates with other, moms around. So we had created the Grand Rapids Play Dates group. And we slowly added people in and in and in. We had about 8,000 members at that point in time. And we would have some, or by the time we got done, we had some play dates that would be, like everybody's just meeting at the park and bring a picnic for your kids and we're gonna play on the playground. Then we would have other organized meetups, like maybe we were going to Krupp's Farms to do strawberry picking with all the kids, right? And we had our own dedicated little wagons out to the strawberry fields and all that stuff. But regardless, we had some kind of meetup scheduled every single day, whether we were there or not. It was scheduled and somebody was running it. So Mary and I ran the page and we were the moderators of the page. And I got to meet a lot of other moms, right, with that group. And I would say not huge, but I probably got 5 to 7 transactions a year out of that group. And then once all of our kids were way past the play date age, then we handed it off to the next set to run it. Because to me, I wasn't getting all the business just from running the page. I was getting the business from making the connections with other moms at the events. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. But you can do that. You can build a private community. All right, we're gonna keep going because I don't want to keep you guys too long. The circle of trust. I want everybody to look at that for just a minute, read it, and tell me why you think this is actually in a lead gen class.
Because you can't really make a sale if there's no trust. For the most part. Trust is a factor.
Is client compliance one thing or 2 different things?
So when we're saying client compliance, we're saying that is the core.
Okay.
Right?
Is it client and compliance, or is
No,
it
the phrase,
the
client
phrase?
compliance.
That's what I'm trying to check.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So the circle of trust is a diagnostic tool. When a client stops following your professional advice, you have exited the circle. Have any of you ever had this happen before? I have. I've had it happen. And at that point in time, you have to identify which pillar failed. Was it empathy? Did they feel understood? Was it competency? Do they actually believe that you can do the job? Is it transparency? Do they feel that you haven't been totally honest with them? Is it dependability? Have you done what you said you would do? This in itself is also lead gen. It is also our processes and systems. Because if your client is not compliant, as in fully believing that you are capable of doing everything that you promised to do, there is no transaction. Yes? Okay. Going on. 36 to connect. This is also a wonderful thing that we have in our command campaigns. So, we're going to talk about this one a little bit here. I can slur this slideshow with anybody too. So, transitioning from dead corporate email to high conversion, typo tolerant text messaging to maintain 60 to 80 touches a year. That sounds pretty extreme, doesn't it? Okay, well, let's go back to that top phrasing into 36 to connect. What does that mean? You guys know.
36 touches.
36 touches to actually make a connection. So the 36 to connect is really meant to focus on those leads that you don't already have some kind of relationship with, right? Somebody that you met at an open house, somebody that entered your drawing at the vendor market last week, somebody that came by your booth at a bridal show, somebody that raised a hand on your website and said potentially they were thinking about buying a home. These are leads that we have not connected with. And the research and the studies tell us that we have to have 36 touches with that person before they actually start to connect to us and form and build that relationship. So Command has 36 touch campaigns that are specifically designed to make that happen. And the big teams that have the money to put into all the mailers and everything, they all operate with that 36 touch. Because sending out postcards and mailers and that kind of thing is going to be part of that process. So, I don't really want you to focus that much on 36 to connect. What I want you to focus on is this. The old way of sending messages, oh, I can't stand right there, I'll block the camera. They had a 12% open rate. Okay? The hack way, when you text has a 91% open rate. The old way with your email was polished and corporate jargon. Text messages, they want to see under 140 characters. Email has a high unsubscribe rate. Text, casual, and typo tolerant. We're going to talk about that more when we get down to right here. The old way of signing off in our emails was your realtor for life. How many of you have seen those everywhere? I have. Nobody wants to see that anymore. They want authentic human imperfection. Just like we want the videos that aren't polished, we want real human, real people. This is why AI is never going to replace you folks. I mean, AI can do a lot of the stuff for us that we need to do in real estate. AI can't make that human connection. AI can't stand there looking at a house and figure out what's wrong with it. AI can't talk them through it when they're having a meltdown in the middle of the transaction because something happened that nobody could see coming. The emotion and the human imperfection is what will keep you in business. So, abandon the corporate jargon. People trust small business authenticity over big business polish. Right? Okay. Number 2, keep text under 140 characters. If it looks like a block of text, it gets ignored. Embrace human imperfection. Minor grammatical errors psychologically trigger higher human response rates. Who in coaching got my email yesterday with all the stuff that was going on this week? Did you read it? Did you notice what was different in that email this week?
No.
I had 4 words that were misspelled. I am also a spelling queen. I've always been really, really good at spelling. When
Is
I was
that
spelling
hard
bees,
for you?
it's extremely hard for me to misspell a word. I mean, extremely. But when you use a misspelled word or a grammatical error, it proves that you are a person, not a bot, and it drives higher engagement. It takes every cell of my being to make a grammatical error in something that I'm actually sending out to a client.
You had 4, you said?
I had 4.
That's tough.
I read it and didn't even notice, and I still responded, so great.
But I did it because I knew we were gonna be having this part. I just wanted to see if anybody picked up on it. Cause for me, I would've been reading that immediately going, oh my gosh, there are 4 misspelled words in here, can you type?
Right.
Right. I feel like I wanna reread it, cause I'm that same way, and I can't believe that I didn't see those if I read it. I wanna reread, you sent it yesterday?
Yeah, the email that I send out every week, you know, like here's what's going on this week, here's your classes. Cause again, it takes everything in me to do that. But people like it. They also like emojis. So, you know, they said, use emojis and characters. And they did find that 140 characters, that is the limit of the modern attention span. They said if you can't say it in 140, you haven't said it right. And here's something else that's interesting. Do any of you use Twilio in command? I do. Twilio gives us 140 characters for free when you send out a text. Anything over 140 characters, it ups like how much you're paying for each text that goes out. And avoid stuff like that Realtor for Life signatures. They want to think of you as a person and a small business, not a corporate entity.
I put ball menu.
I like that. Okay. Questions on any of this?
So with your clients even, you try to include a typo?
Yes, and I hate it.
Wow.
I absolutely hate it.
I
wouldn't.
Terrible.
I don't have to try.
I was gonna say, I don't have to try at all, I have to edit.
I wouldn't necessarily say it's like all client communication, but here's what I found out that makes it easier for me to do that and makes it seem more human. I talk to text all the time. Does everybody else do that?
Yeah.
So I preface everything with my clients up front going, hey, I talk to text all the time. And with this hillbilly accent, Siri does not understand me sometimes. So if you get a weird word or a typo or blah, blah, blah in there too, just know it's because I was talking to text. Sorry.
The amount of times that the word period comes up at the end of like
Yeah.
what I'm saying, and it's like period, I'm like, didn't mean to send that.
Or I am also at the age where we used emojis for everything. So if you ever get one for me and it says smiley face after, it's because I usually say smiley face and it pops up the smiley face. And now sometimes it just types out smiley face.
Yeah.
So, but it gives people a laugh.
Yes.
Like it just did us, and it makes it feel more personable and relatable.
I talk so much in my text that when I make a voicemail, I say a statement, da-da-da-da-da, period.
Yes.
I say period, right?
Right, and that's what Sid's talking about, and now it says period rather than putting the period on
Right,
there.
but I do that in my voicemail and I just, people say they laugh.
And it was like a legit text about some factual things, and then at the end of it, it was like, period, I was like, that doesn't look good, does it?
Yeah, but it made it feel personable,
It was
and everybody got a
funny.
laugh over it.
Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna keep going. Vendor savings, we've talked about this all the time too. Leveraging local third-party discounts to provide consistent, tangible value to your database. Influence is your greatest currency. So for this one, they were using something called the Grout Doctor. So they negotiated with the Grout Doctor to give 20% off, right, to any of their clients. But they didn't preface it by making it like 20% off. The script was, I've taken care of 20% of the bill for you if you use the grout doctor this month. What you did, you took care of it by negotiating a 20% discount for them. But you're phrasing it like, I've already paid 20% of the bill. Call the grout doctors, have them come do XYZ. This will train your database to see you as the resource for everything that is home related. HVAC, roof repairs, painters, whatever you need. I have used this numerous times, and I still have it included. I don't do it like every single month, which maybe I should, but I do use it several times a year. Again, because we're in winter, and you've got all that snow and all that ice, and then we've got all of the what for the snow and the ice? Mud, salt, right? All that kind of stuff gets tracked in, no matter what. You can keep your house as clean as you want, you're still gonna get stuff that gets tracked in and all that. So usually every April, I have negotiated something with Crystal Carpet Care, just for my clients. Right? And if they call Crystal Carpet Care and they book a service to come and clean any of their floors, they get a 25% discount by telling them, using my name. Like, that's the promo code, Kindell. Kindell sent me.
And they offer that to you just because you are marketing for them?
And, well, this is one where I know the owner through the Ada Business Association back when he started it, and we've become really good friends and partners. But I built those relationships along the way. I can do one with Concierge, or I can do one with the one across the street, right, with Bill Boss's greenhouse. So in May, I usually do one where it's 20% off on flowers for Mom for Mother's Day. And I just call Bill up every year and go, hey Bill, you want a promo with me again? And be like, yeah, sure. And this works really, really well if you have someone who is younger in their business, right? And they're looking to grow their business as well. And you can do one every single month. And they say negotiate a standing discount in exchange for free marketing access to your entire database. Right? And of course, the larger your database is, the more
incentive they have to work with you.
Yes, incentive and publicity.
Influence.
Yes, influence. And it's training your sphere. So again, in February, we do the Home and Garden Show tickets. We've been doing those for years now. I have people who will call me in January going, do you have Home and Garden Show tickets again this year? I have trained them that I'm going to be calling them every February to see if they want tickets. And for some people, that's really their jam, right? Other people could care less about going to the Home and Garden Show. But that's okay, because I've got probably half of my database that's really excited for me to be able to call and offer them that. Questions, other comments on this?
Like it.
Okay, I'm gonna challenge each one of you right now. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Can you think,
To your side, thank you.
can you think of somebody who might own a small business that you know that you could incorporate using this? Sid?
You want me to rattle it off?
Yeah, who you got?
Oh,
Or just say a service. It doesn't have to be the name of the business.
yeah, mold mitigation and carpet cleaning.
Who's your mole guy?
His name is Chris Collins with Voda.
It's not Evan.
Not Evan.
Who can you think of, Christiana?
I know like an HVAC.
Okay. Katie? Okay, Marvin?
Ghostbusters.
Who you gonna call?
Sorry.
Marvin!
concrete? Yeah, concrete guy.
Katie?
Alright, I can talk now. I actually have a coffee shop in Caledonia that is willing to partner up with me anytime. I just haven't taken them up on their offer.
Shame on you.
Well, we've done other stuff, but this past year, I've not. So we've already done 2 events together, but not in 2026.
Okay, good.
So,
Trish?
Landscaper. Used him a lot.
Okay. Randy?
Maybe a remodel guy, if they're gonna do any home renovations.
not the
I
closet
would-
guy.
No,
Sorry?
not the closet guy, holy smokes,
Alright, Tyler?
not the mortgage
CPA,
pay
one of my
company.
friends just got his license.
Susan?
Dock installer. I know that's more seasonal.
You
or-
said dock, not
Dock.
decks.
Dock installer, or a plumber, if that's too seasonal.
Okay, alright. Kurt?
Tree removal, trimming specialist.
Yourself?
No.
That's not fair.
I mean, I don't wanna be that guy anymore.
Okay, Peyton?
I was a plumber.
Okay,
You can still do a plumber.
Leah?
Roofer, roofing guy.
My roofers, that's not recommended.
Frontline Electric, that's my husband, he's an electrician. He'd give me a collaborative discount.
Nate?
Pest control?
Kevin?
Construction.
Be more specific.
Maybe like a siding, like he does outside, like exterior.
There we go, alright, so I'm gonna put like siding windows, cause usually those are, companies kinda go hand in hand.
Painter.
So just going around the room, everybody was able to think of one. And this is something that you could partner with. Right?
Now, are you asking or like telling your vendor, like how many referrals you're sending them? Like what's stopping like if you give your clients, hey, I've used my name Kindell, and then she's like texting her family like, hey, call this carpet cleaner right now and use this promo code,
I don't care.
go for it?
I mean, if they shared it with somebody else, fine, go for it, right? Hopefully at some point I'm gonna get to talk to the person they shared it with when they need business, or I become their source. They wanna get on my list to get my discounts and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to hose the small business owner either, right?
Right.
Like, I'm not asking for a 50% discount, I'm not asking them for them to do blah, 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 but I'm also looking for things that can help them, maybe when they need it. Everybody thinks of a CPA when it's tax time. Who thinks of a CPA in November? Right? That's probably when they have the time, cause after you go into January, right? So I would be asking my CPA, like, what is your slowest time of the year? And if they're saying October, then I would say, okay, well, here's the thing. You know, can we do the free consultation, or, you know, $50 off your consultation, which I'm gonna tell them, like, I've already paid the first 50, right? I'm not gonna say 50 off. It's gonna be, I paid $50 for you to have a free consultation.
Sweet.
And I can send this out to people that think they're going to need a CPA for next year's taxes, so that you can go ahead and start growing that business right now. Because here's the thing, if we're looking at, again, like Susan said, a dock guy that like puts in your dock and takes out your dock and that kind of stuff, that's seasonal. And they probably don't give two hoots about collabing with Susan unless they're brand new, because they've already got a list of clients that's used them for years, and everybody wants their dock in that 2-week span. It ain't helping them one iota. Right? But if you've got some guy who worked for that company for 5 years and now he started his own company and he's trying to get his own clients, he's gonna go talk to Susan.
I think the other important part of that is they are now getting a lead that they didn't have before. So it's also helping their business.
Right. this isn't gonna work with the big guys, right? You're looking for the smaller, local owned, put down their roots, growing their company businesses.
And sometimes it doesn't work with real established businesses either, because they have so much work that they don't wanna discount it, they don't need to.
Right, they don't need to, they don't need it. Okay, good conversation there. I'm gonna leave this up for a minute just in case anybody wants a picture of it. Our next hack is the 10-4 model. The quiet, unstoppable power of daily, monotonous, outbound consistency. That is a nice way of saying what?
Lead gen for 2 hours every day.
Lead gen for 2 hours every day. The path is
In the math.
in the math. And $1 million income is a math problem. 10 new contacts a day, 4 follow-ups a day, 2 database ads a day. Follows the 48-month rule, which says if you do that alone, within 48 months, you should be able to have at least 2,000 people in your database. 2,000 people in your database should average $1 million in GCI. What is GCI?
Gross commission.
Gross. That is not net. That is gross commission of $1 million. Yes?
I don't think it's just making peace sometimes with the process, it's making peace with sometimes the boredom of it, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it can get boring.
It can get boring.
It can get lonely, and so that's why we do things like call nights and things where we can do things with other people.
Mhm.
So,
But if you're doing this, built around something you're passionate about or that you really like, it won't be boring. Right? And then you get these wonderful millionaire real estate agent medals. Right? You
That's
have no
real
idea how
silver.
hard I worked to get this.
This is real silver, right?
No.
So Kindell, when you were
Yes.
starting out, how did you find 10 contacts willing to talk to you? And like, if you talked to 10 people,
Okay.
how many were you actually talking to?
So remember, a contact doesn't necessarily mean a conversation.
Right.
But a contact does mean that there was some kind of connection there that you can build on. And I did a lot of stuff with the Ada Business Association when I first started out.
If you wouldn't have had Ada Business, what would you have done?
I would have had to have found something like that.
Yeah.
But that's me, my personality. Kurt can call people that he doesn't know, cold calling, and have fantastic results with it.
Yeah.
He's amazing at it. I'm not. My specialty is face-to-face in front of people. So, like, not only was I on the board, not only did I do Spotlight on ADAs, I also ran Tinsel Treats and Trolleys for 10 years, and I started the Trunk or Treat, which became the Pumpkin Prowl, which has about 10,000 people in attendance.
But how did you get those people to call you? Like, tell me that secret.
Well, it wasn't even necessarily calling. Remember, this is a contact. So, you know, if the ABA was having a coffee thing that day, I was there. And the general rule of thumb is just something that says real estate. So people would ask me all the time, like, how do you have time to run, right, Tinsel Treats and Trolleys with everything that you do? Well, I'm really fortunate and blessed because I love doing real estate, but it also gives me that flexible schedule so that I can do the other things that I'm really passionate about, like this.
What was that? Stencil? What was it?
Tinsel.
I'm really Tinsel Treats and Trolleys. I called it T3.
It's Christmas.
It's a big Christmas event in downtown Ada.
Oh, nice.
So it's community events.
Nice, nice.
But I was able to say I am so fortunate and blessed because my work, my job in real estate, my career in real estate
Right.
also allows me the flexibility to be able to spend time doing other things that I'm passionate about, like this.
Sure.
Did I actually have a whole real estate conversation? No. Were they reminded that I'm in real estate? Yes. Am I getting their contact info? Yes. And, go ahead, Sid.
I just had a question, you can finish.
Go ahead.
Okay, if your community already has established events like that,
Mhm.
is that something that you would try to be a part of? Or would you try to start something else? Like what would you do? Like, for example, I live in Rockford and our community is already set up with multiple different events throughout the year.
It is.
That drive people to it. So what would you recommend in that scenario?
It's a very tricky question, because a lot of these places in West Michigan are very established with who is on their board, with who runs the chamber, with who does blah, 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 and it's very cliquey. If you're not in on the ground floor, it's hard to break in. And that's another one when I hear people go, oh, I'm gonna go join the chamber. Oh, I'm like, good luck to you, have fun wasting your money. Cause it's not the same thing that it used to be. But there are other things that you can do with that, again, around being passionate. Did Peyton leave?
Yes.
Okay. I told Peyton, since she's not here, I'm just gonna talk about her. Like in December, maybe of last year, I was like, you have to find new people, right? Peyton's young. She doesn't have a sphere that is ready to buy or sell real estate yet. So I said, you need to find people to be around that have the money to buy or sell real estate, and it's something that you like to do. And she joined a pickleball league. Right? So she wasn't necessarily getting 10 contacts a day, but she was getting like 3 to 5 contacts every single week, because you got to play with new people, right, in that pickleball league. Okay, great. Pickleball lasted for like 4 months. It's over. Now you gotta go find somebody new, Chica. You need some new peeps. So you can find people everywhere. You can join a book club. You can volunteer at the local library. You can do whatever. But you have to in order to get contacts, you have to talk to people. If you don't want to talk to people, you are not going to survive in this business. The path is in the math. The conversations equal transactions.
Just gonna say, we talked about tracking things. Make sure you're tracking this. If you're putting time and energy into tinsel streets and trolleys or whatever it is, are you seeing the return on the time and the things you're getting? Are you actually closing deals because of that? Because of those relations, because of those things there. And so if you're not adding people to your database that are using you, then is that where you should be spending your time, right? And I see that with a lot of different things. And what's funny about this one is the biggest one for me is DTD2s, which is just calling my database 4 times a year. Call them 4 times a year. When I do that, my business stays consistent. When I pick up something else shiny and try to run with that, all of a sudden there's no business from that shiny thing, and I missed out on the other.
Yeah. Lead generation is a process, not a destination.
So I really struggle with this. So like baseball season is right now. I'm in a field 5 out of the 7 nights a week. In the last 2 weeks, I've had 2 people say, oh, yeah, like we had somebody, but we know you're so busy with baseball that we gave them somebody else's name.
No.
And I'm like, I don't know how to get past that. Or like, oh yeah, we know that you're with Keller Williams, we see your stuff, it's great, but you just look so busy, so we gave our information to someone else.
You say you're never too busy.
Right, and like,
you are never too busy.
Yeah.
I don't.
You just tell them.
Bring left. Like, I don't feel like I social media that I'm doing. Like, I don't know.
Let's brainstorm some of that outside of here. It's a great thing to bring up, and I'd love for everybody here to help her with that too. But I'm also already like out of time, and I got like 2 more, so let me finish this, and then you guys can all talk. How's that?
Yes.
Okay, but you can find something. Find something. Find somewhere to have conversations. Okay. Did you see, there was some guy, it was on TikTok last year, and he made, like, do you remember, most of you probably don't, Peanuts, the cartoon with Snoopy and all of those. Lucy would set up like she was a therapist, right? Kinda looked like a little lemonade stand, right? And it would be like questions or therapy for 5 cents back then. This guy made one that looked just like the one out of Peanuts, but it was free real estate advice. And he would just go set up in a local park and sit there. And people walking the dogs or walking the babies or whatever would stop by and ask him questions about real estate. And that was what he did all summer long to get leads and have his conversations.
I just saw another guy that does that, but he also posts the conversations on social media, so that it's like a social media page as well. Like, obviously it's promoting that he's a realtor, but it's not really realtor based. It's like him sitting in these parks that I'm a realtor.
Yeah.
Did you skip 12? Was 12?
12 was just talking about the path is in the math, which we basically talked about, right? So, golden ladder, I already told you about that, and it says, write exactly these words. If you've ever thought about selling your house at blah, 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 please call me on my cell phone. Handwrite the envelope. Apply a crooked physical stamp. Crooked. Human error. Human, right? Do not change a single variable. Do not add headshots or tweak the copy. Changing it lowers the ROI. So remember I said I don't like the ones that say like I have a buyer or that kind of thing. This one does not. It says if you've ever thought about selling your house, please call me on my cell phone. They said use standard white paper, folded in thirds, no photos, no logos, no professional labels, hand addressed envelope.
Do you have
And
to
that
put
is
the
the,
broker on there?
huh?
Since you're marketing, do you have to put the broker on there?
It's not marketing, you're sending out a letter.
Okay.
So, the don't change it rule. Will Van Whitler, he's 25, dominates his market. Closed 78 houses last year using the golden letter. Hand addressed, plain white paper. And he says that every time he tested professional upgrades, the response rate dropped.
The best one I ever did with this, I stole, and not stole because they were here for us to use, but they were leftover stationery that they had in one of the cupboards in the print area there. And they were colored cards and colored envelopes. And I just wrote a message in there about, I live in your neighborhood, I'd be interested. It wasn't even this simple. But I got great open rate because people thought they were getting invited to a party or something.
Right.
One lady told me, she's like, I thought I got invited to a birthday party.
So, and how many of you have gotten something in the mail and you think it's legit handwritten and then you realize it's not? Right? So again, Keller Williams has companies that do that for you. You can order it even like through command. You
Buy
can type stuff in.
robot to write things down.
Right. They sell they try to get the subscriptions for those at Family Reunion every year. But it's ridiculously expensive in my opinion. And it's tricky. Like, I don't want to see that. I don't want you sending me stuff that looks like you hand wrote it to know that it's got a bulk postage label on it and it came from one of those machines. So I think that whole like crooked stamp thing is genius. I do, this one doesn't talk about letter of the heart, but you'll hear me talk about that one too. That's one that KP, Kevin Polakovich, talks about all the time. The letter of the heart is like almost like a Christmas letter, right? It's not real estate-y, it's about like what's going on in your life, what's happening with the kids and the dogs and that kind of thing. So think of like you would send a Christmas letter. It's meant to form that emotional attachment between you and your sphere. Right? They feel like they know you. They feel like everything is more personable because you're sending out these updates. I do 4 a year on mine. The first one that I did, I hand wrote every address. I hand wrote the return address, right? I did photocopy the letter, but then I hand signed all of them. put my stamp on and mailed them. I wanted them to see that this was personal for me. The second time around that I sent them out, I still hand wrote the address, but I used my stamper that says Veruca Homes for my return address label on it. Stamped them, sent them out. The third time that I did it, I actually printed my labels out of Command and used my stamper. I still don't do bulk mail though. I put the personal stamp on it so you can see that that's sideways. But what happened is they got trained to realize that that's coming from me and it's not junk and it's my letter. So they open it. And now I can automate it. I mean, I can literally print out all my labels out of Command and have my kids sitting on the couch peeling and sticking on the envelopes, right? But they still get
stamps
opened.
out there too.
What's
There's so
that?
many cool stamps out there that you
There
can
are.
get too, like at the post office.
Oh, and here's the thing that you guys probably don't know either. Where did I learn this one? Somebody at Family Reunion. I've got the 4 or 5 different websites. There are websites that you can go on to where there are stamps that are discontinued by the post office.
And they are?
And they're like half price.
16 cents.
Be careful, some of those are scams.
They are, but I have the 4 legit ones that came from the group at Family Reunion. And they're the forever stamps, so that you don't have to put extra postage on them. It's just they're all discontinued brands. You can buy like 100, you can buy 250, you can buy 500, you pick your quantities. But it is way less than going to the post office and buying stamps. It's the only way I buy mine now.
They have a new scanner at some post offices that will scan it, and if it's not the right ink on those things, they'll reject them as counterfeit. So just make sure it's a reputable one that it is.
Yes. But the 4 sites that I got are the reputable. Like one of them is even associated with the Postal Service. It's like their discount outlet for discontinued stamps. Okay, I'm gonna keep going again because we're behind. Okay. Who was at Bolden here? Me, Kurt, Susan, Tyler.
I didn't go.
Katie, Leah. Oh, that's right, sorry. So, our coach this year, Coach Dave, told this story about the margarita machine. And then I'm at Family Reunion and Cody is telling this story and he's not naming the agent, but I'm like, this is Dave. I know exactly who started this. So what happened is he is building influence by providing high utility items that the community needs but doesn't want to store. So in his instance, I don't remember what happened, but somehow or another, he ended up with a margarita machine. One margarita machine. And then a friend at some point in time went, I'm having a party next week. I'd love to have one of those. But, you know, how much are they? And it was like a $300, right? It's a good one. He's like, I can't spend $300 on it. And he was like, dude, you can borrow it, right? Borrow my margarita machine, no problem. He slapped his real estate stickers on there, and his buddy borrowed the margarita machine.
Free bags with your branding on them, right?
Right, see? Type your business card to it, brand it somehow, and you offer it for free. I would be offended if you rented one. Just sign the waiver. What? Never ask for business when lending the item. The pure reciprocity of the gesture will inevitably drive inbound referrals.
Thank you, Kindell.
You're welcome.
Sorry, I have to go.
It creates a debt of gratitude.
That's great. That's a good idea.
And then they have slowly built their stuff up. See, expansion. So now he's got a margarita machine, he's got the popcorn machine, he's got the chocolate fountain and the fondue pot and the bouncy house and all that kind of stuff, right? So then you get to the empire phase. Like then they have the 40-foot ladders, the bouncy houses. He also now, I mean, he has storage units for those, but he also offers storage units for people that maybe they're selling this house and they're going to buy another one, but they're going to be in an apartment for 3 months and they need to put their furniture somewhere, right? And he never charges. for any of these rentals. They just have to sign off on the waiver form, and everything has his logo all over it. Now, he doesn't publicize this to the community, right? It's publicized to his sphere, his database, right? Friends and family.
Is he sending out
But-
like an email about this? Like, how is he marketing it?
Yeah, with his sphere.
With his sphere.
And his friends and family. But, you know, let's say that his cousin Dave, neighbor 2 doors down, wants to borrow the margarita machine. Sure, no problem. They're gonna sign the waiver. You now got Dave's name, phone number, email. Dave gets added to your database. Right?
For a margarita machine that you bought, how many years and uses ago, right?
I believe that he said for that type of equipment, they got about 3 years out of it.
Right.
And I think, correct, again, I was writing all this down and recording it, so I'm repeating what my thing has told me. But I believe that they said over 5 years, they could track 800 sales back to this. So that's over 150 sales a year that resulted from, now at this point too, this is a team, right? So they have multiple people on the team that are using this within their group. But still, even with a team, 150 sales a year is really, that's really good. And especially if that's 150 just from this. Yeah.
What's the waiver exactly? What are they signing it?
Releasing them from liability, right? I mean, you could have ChatGPT draw up a waiver.
Releasing
So-
them of liability if they
Well,
damage the
let's
equipment?
say, no, but let's say that you
Bouncy.
rented out a bouncy house and a kid broke their arm in the bouncy house.
Oh, okay.
You're going to
okay.
have a waiver that's going to protect you
Okay, okay.
if anybody got hurt with the property. But it's also your way of collecting all their information, and now they go in your database.
Okay.
I would love to put this one together.
I know.
I just haven't had time to do it, and I don't have anywhere to store it. But I mean, you know, maybe if a few of us went in together.
I have a great pole barn.
And did.
Seriously,
Awesome.
I'd love to do this.
I have a $15 fondue pot. Already.
I have a popcorn. I have a popcorn machine. Yeah,
I'll
with
get the
little
margarita
things.
machine.
Yeah.
I might get 2 of those.
But anyway, I mean,
Ice
it's a
shaver.
great, and it depends on what phase of life you're in, right? I mean, when I first got into real estate and I had that 3 and that 5-year-old, if you had a bouncy house that anybody could take and borrow for the kids' birthday parties, and well, are you kidding me? Right?
Even something as silly as a senior's open house, right? To have
Mhm.
something like that the little kids could be entertained at
Yep.
while mom and dad are walking around or anything. People use it.
And you can buy these things, they're not the same quality as if you rented one, right, from a big rental facility. It's a different,
Plastic.
yeah, one is much more sturdy and heavy duty. But again, there are those blow up and inflatable water sets, right, where it's got the slide that runs down in it. And my sister bought one for my girls when they were like 2 and 4. I used that thing with all the neighborhood kids. I used it for all the, you know, brownie events and play date events and birthday party events. And that $300 thing lasted for like 4 years before it finally got a hole in it.
They have them on sale at Sam's Club right now. I almost bought it.
Yeah, so I mean, and I'm saying it would probably get more use even than mine did, but still, $400 if it lasted for 2 years.
Mhm.
If I got a deal a year off of that $200 investment, that is well worth it. Okay,
So I can go buy the water slide, is what
I
you're
would,
telling me?
yes,
I'll tell my husband.
I would go buy the water slide.
Okay.
Okay, so that is it, that is the entire presentation. So, he said context is always more valuable than a title. The title of a hack is just a task. The context is the human connection that makes the task work. Implement the heart not just the list. So again, like I said, I knew every single hack that was on here. But some of the other ways of thinking about it, or some of the other ways that people were using it, I did not. I didn't know anything about don't change the golden letter, like just use this sentence, keep it on plain white paper. I would have been thinking I need to put some letterhead on there, my logo, and yeah.
You should try to implement all 14 of these, right, Kindell?
No, thank you, Kurt.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Again, as we have our conversations in coaching, you should have no more than 5 lead gen strategies that you are working on, 3 that are in your top 3, and then 2 that you kind of incorporate on the side. And when you pick them, we track them and we don't squirrel. We don't go, I'm gonna do that too, I'm gonna do that too, I'm gonna do that too, I'm gonna do that too. We wait and see what works first.
And some of these you can use with things you're already doing.
Mhm.
You just need to tweak it a little bit and integrate it, right? And
Yes.
so,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Kindell.
Thank you
Good
for
job.
coming, Kurt. Thank you very much.
I missed half of it, but that's.
Great to see you for that part, but you were able to be here.
You know that red day thing took me.
Thursday? Nice. What did you have?
And I think Katie had to leave, but if anybody else wants to give her some advice later on working out with some of that, that would be great.
She's been very stressed.
Right. Hopefully you'll win her as a referral person, right?
Yeah.
Be like, my daughter, you should see what she does.
We just, I mean, there's so.
I have it in a Google Doc. I can send it to, I'll probably just put it in the,
Oh, yeah.
oh, slips for the drawing. Thank you very much. Okay,
Leah,
do you have slips for the drawing?
Yeah, but I heard that I have to rewrite them all out on a different piece of paper.
What are they on a piece of paper?
They're on the one you gave me.
You don't have to rewrite them.
Okay.
We just need to cut them up.
Okay. I have them, yes.
Okay.
Just need a-
Becca's got, Becca has scissors.
Kevin, I'm Kurt. Nice to meet you, man. Yeah. I think I shot you an email or a
Oh,
text.
yes, sorry.
So, no, you're good.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm trying to get into this, there's so much.
Oh,
Get
there's,
ahead with, but.
there's classes all the time. There's tons that you can
Let
do.
me
and
get
so-
the,
but glad
the
you're
little
here.
house,
Thank you so
and we'll
much.
see if we can do that drawing real quick too, once I get theirs cut up.
First time seeing you here, huh? Did you go to the sales meeting? I was going to. I was going to, but last night was like
My head hurts.
the worst night of sleep I've ever had. I feel like
Working well.
I got woken up like 5 times.
My eyes are like going cross-eyed.
Yeah, and like Liz like doing stuff, and then at one point like she like starts shining her light, and I'm like, what is going on? And she's like, there's a spider. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So then all of a sudden, like every time I like maybe like felt like something moving, like, is that a spider?
No.
So for hours I'm just laying there like not able to sleep. But I have my one-on-one with her. I think like I think him and I are like doubling up with her at the same time to like both like talk to her. So I have like a list of questions over there. Do you know, can you just like open people's mailboxes and put letters in it?
Absolutely not, federal law.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
Because I was thinking about doing that later.
Yeah.
Because I have like a couple of bank invoices that I used to have, but like I can't just put that in the mailbox.